Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about Lightworkers. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. This is the question I get asked quite a lot, which is kind of fun. People don't understand the terminology Lightworker, and they don't understand what is it that they do, or what is it that they don't do, or kind of really what is it all about? I get asked questions all about this all the time. So I will say Lightworkers are really people that are really gifted, and they're very powerful. And a lot of times they really don't understand their own energy. They don't understand how powerful they really are. It's kind of like they're almost like they're a superhero, but they didn't know they were a superhero kind of thing. So it's like, something's a little different here. And I will tell you that one of the most important things is they are brought here to Earth. They usually come and pick to be here, and they do it to make changes. To make changes not only to their world, but to us, to other people, and they are really, really beneficial in many, many different areas. And I would almost kind of put them not in the category of angels, but it's one of those very close to that, because their energy is very similar to that. And it's one of those, they really are high vibrational beings. They're able to usually read others without even realizing that they're reading the other person, or they'll just kind of feel like, oh, I just feel like I need to do this for this person. And you're kind of like, well, why? They can't explain why. That's the crazy part. They can't explain why. It just is this intuitive energy of, this is what I have to do. This is how I have to do this. And I will say a light worker is someone who has that really high vibration, and usually doesn't even really know it. But one of the things that's really important is it's who they are naturally. It's not like they chose to do something differently, or they chose to, that was sticking up, chose to do something differently. It's just who they were meant to be. And it was kind of like a side job compared to everything else. So yes, light workers can get married, and light workers can have babies, and light workers can do all kinds of crazy things and have a regular job. This is kind of like above and beyond that. Above and beyond our regular life, this is something that they take on. And so kind of what does it mean to be a light worker? People may call you, global workers. It's kind of like a higher mission that people have, like I said, above and beyond your regular life. Really, I would say they kind of get their fulfillment in life in helping other people. So light workers are an energetic thing, but part of that is in their everyday life. Usually there's something that to do with like healing or helping or caring for others. So they could be in customer service. They could be a healthcare worker. They could be an ambulance driver. They could be a fireman. It doesn't really matter what they do. It's one of those, usually it's something that is helping someone else. And that's kind of the interesting part as well. Light workers usually feel very strong. They usually use or know, like they're always the people that like, oh, you have a problem with this? I have a friend who works on cars. They'll help you with this part. Or, hey, you need a new tire. I have a friend who works for a tire company, and let me see if I can get you a discount. So they're always kind of like knowing people from different walks of life. And they're always about kind of like helping other people, that caring for people. And a lot of times they will do a lot of group events kind of on their own. Like they may have several dinner parties. They may have a lot of friends coming over. Like, we're going to get together for the game or for this or for that. They're always going to have people over, because that's kind of where they feel like they can heal a lot of people very, very quickly. And their skill set is built for this. It's one of those, their skill set is to be able to help and heal. And they will usually be the one who's not really watching the game. They're the one in the corner talking to their friend about their breakup that they just went through, or their boss told them this, or whatever else. They're kind of that extra type of energy in there, and they're always using their skills that they come with naturally. It's just naturally who they are. So that's really an interesting aspect too. But there's different types of light workers, and it really depends on what type of light worker you are. It's kind of like, what is your job? So it's one of those, there are 8 main light workers kind of categories, and it's one of those, they will use their energy not only in the light worker aspect, but they will use it in their everyday life as well. Let's see. First one is gatekeepers. Let's see. Gatekeepers are light workers who work through, or continually work through, kind of like move through the world. Usually they require, it really requires like a hard-working aspect. Like, people just love to work harder. They're always constantly busy. An openness and a dedication to kind of keep their energy open and in flow. And what they really are doing for people is kind of allowing the love to flow. Love heals everything. Love heals. And that's kind of what they come in with, this knowledge of just kind of like, gatekeepers keep that flow of love between us and our spirituality and our source, kind of bringing this in. And I don't mean religion. I mean, they're keeping that source energy kind of flowing. Gatekeepers are usually drawn to jobs where they're kind of like promoting like equality between different types of people, peace or compassion. They will have, they could be even like yoga teachers or people that meditate, and they may even bring in people to meditate with them. So it's kind of like, I want to meditate and I want to bring this energy, and they're kind of like keeping that flow of energy open between us and our creator energy, kind of keeping that gate completely open. The next one are healers. They are natural born healers. These people have phenomenal amounts of energy. Not that they don't get tired. They do get tired, but they have a phenomenal amount of energy. And the healers are kind of like capable of healing things. And a lot of times when you talk to them, it's one of those, they almost just draw it out of like, I wasn't going to tell anybody about this, but let me tell you about this. And you're just like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's get this out in the open. And it could be this amazing energy of just like dropping your energy here. Now, I will tell you, naturally, the healers and gatekeepers really naturally release old energy. They don't hang on to it. If you're like, my boss was, they're not going to hold on to it. They're going to hear it, and it's going to just flow off of them, keeping them moving forward. They are, healers are really good on emotional pain and releasing that. Like I said, they're going to be the one that's going in the corner talking to their friend about what happened at work, or what happened to their boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse or whatever it is. And even if they don't have someone in that capacity, they are going to have this understanding of where do we need to go, and what do we need to do, and how do we need to deal with this. That's the really cool part, is because they are just doing this naturally. It's one of those, they can, not that they can't be overwhelmed by others, but it doesn't happen very often. And they also have a huge effect on other people. They love to hear other people's story, because that emotion is stuck in there, and they can help remove that as well. They will also usually have a career. Like I said, a lot of light workers will have careers. Healers in particular will be more in like nursing, medicine, being a doctor, daycare worker, or psychology, something like that, where they're really listening to other people's problems and bringing that energy forward, so they can really help people through voicing their energy out to bring them to a new healed state. So our third type of light worker are manifestors. And manifestors are usually uniquely qualified to kind of draw in not only abundance for themselves, but for other people as well. I have a friend who is a natural manifester, and she's like, I don't know why, I'll say something and then the next day it appears. And I'm like, because you're a light worker and because you're a natural manifester, this is kind of like their subset of being a light worker. It's one of those, they will kind of like, look for the truth in what people really require. Because so many times people will tell me, like, I really think I need this, and they actually need 180-degree difference, or they need something completely different. Or I thought I needed this, but they really needed something else. And so this is where they're kind of like, that person is able to really hear what they really require and bring that forward for them. One of the things is manifestors are usually, often, always teaching other people how to manifest, even if they're not educated in that part, like they didn't get a degree in manifesting, or they didn't go write a book in it, or whatever else. They'll just be naturally drawn to helping other people manifest, and they will be like, well, let's try a bit different word with this, or let's try doing this a little bit differently, or let's try something different. And so that's kind of the fun part of their energy, is just allowing other people to kind of like listen to their words, so that they can assist them in literally bringing energy forward. That's the really cool part. Number 4 are seers. Fours are kind of literally able to kind of associate with like that super intuitive or kind of predictive powers. And a lot of times I will say that this comes through in kind of some dreams as well. It's one of those, they'll dream something and then it'll come true right away. Or they'll just be like, I really saw this happening differently. And then all of a sudden it happens the way they just said it was going to happen. Like I said, these light workers are able to see into the future. Maybe not forever in a day, but they have this ability to kind of keep using that predictive ability, or kind of like that intuition about what's about to happen. Once they learn how to use their abilities, they can kind of knowing what's coming up. Like if you knew that you were going to have a car accident in 2 blocks, you could change your mind, or you could turn around and you could pull off in some area and kind of like, okay, let me let that time period pass so I can keep going. They will also tell other people, I don't think you should go on this flight, or I don't think, you should leave at this time. And a lot of times what they'll end up doing is kind of literally keeping you there for a little bit longer. Because a lot of times it's like, you're only missing the accident by a few seconds. You leave their house, and then 5 minutes down the road, there's an accident. And it's like, I would have been in that accident if I left on time. If I would have left at the correct time, I would be in all of this. And that's where it's really important to kind of listen to what they're talking about. So that's really interesting as well. They're actually able to see clear visions and kind of like really decide, like, is this the outcome that person wants, or is it not? They're going to be doing it, and they really do it on a global scale. So it's kind of like they do this globally out for other people. Like, well, if you get this, then this is what's going to happen. A lot of times people are like, I don't want that, so I need to change this. And so they're able to kind of give you that deeper insight into what's coming up. I will tell you that seekers are one of the hardest ones to do, because they really have this internal struggle of responsibility of kind of knowing what's about to happen and hoping that they can change someone else, or kind of give them that insight that could change them. But it's also up to that other person. It's kind of the hard part of it. Like, I can tell you that you're going to have an accident if you leave the house right now. But sometimes the person is like, no, I really, 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 really have to go right now. And then they get into a car accident and you're like, I could just see it coming. I could just know that something bad was going to happen. They also love to encourage other people. They love to kind of like encourage other people, like, this is a great change for you. And they'll be the one that people come to kind of get that deeper insight into, this is where I think I need to go, or this is where I think you need to go, or let's do this differently. So they're going to be that kind of that natural person in that area. Which brings us to the next one is naturalizers. They are key in kind of tuning the bad into something good. Kind of like they kind of tune it into something different, not necessarily turning it, but kind of tuning it. They'll kind of fine tune that energy from like negative energy into positive energy, kind of like tuning it a little bit differently. They will also kind of known for like facing darkness in the world. They are the types that are kind of like, I'm going to take up this and I'm going to fight for this person. I'm going to fight for these people's rights. And we've seen a lot of that in the last couple of weeks or a few years in the United States, of people just kind of like bringing up things of kind of like, I'm willing to do the fight for you. Even if you're not willing to fight for it yourself, I'm willing to fight for it. They usually are able to kind of tackle anything that they really choose to. They kind of bring in situations that may seem like hopeless at times, and then be able to turn that into a victory. And this is really kind of like an interesting part of, they're willing to kind of take on energy or kind of that challenge that no one else is, even if it is like, no one's going to change, no one's going to, no one's going to do this. All of a sudden it's like, boom, here it is, boom, with the click of a finger, here it is, and they're making big changes. And it's kind of one of the most powerful energies of being able to kind of fix the problems or the mistakes that we make, because they can kind of see, if we change this, this is going to change down the road. So let's change it differently so we get a different outcome. So that's kind of the best way to put it. Number 6 is dreamers. Lightworkers always like wanting to change, or kind of like seeing the best side of someone else. Dreamers are often always on a journey, and they literally could sleep all day and all night. They are people that just kind of sleep no matter what. I have some of them in my family. I'm always amazed, like, how can you sleep for like 16 hours? It's because they're not just sleeping. They are actually doing their work during that time frame. So it's kind of like, because they're not really sleeping all that well, they are actually kind of able to move into higher realms of energy, but they don't even know how to do it. If you ask them when they're awake, they have no idea how they do it. They're always on a journey. They are kind of like restless to kind of fix things or change things. So you'll see that a lot, where they want to fix or change. They're often kind of like that pioneer of I want to change energy, or explorers, like, I want to change how people feel about this, and I want to change how people feel about that. You'll see that a lot in their terminology. Usually lightworkers that are dreamers really want to generate new solutions, new possibilities, something that you've never thought about. Like, they'll come up with something, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was a way to fix this. That's what dreamers do. Next, number 7 is adventurers. Adventurers are lightworkers who are searching for something. They're driven almost like this internal drive of kind of like, I want to make changes and I want to improve something. It's important kind of like to sit in that energy of just like moving forward, playing energy of what's coming up in the future, but they want to go see it. They want to see everywhere in the world. Those are the kids at a young age that are putting on their backpack and rocking across, the United States, or they're going camping in Europe or whatever else. They have got to see it, and they want to see kind of like the regular everyday life of people, so they know how to fix and adjust that energy. But they adventure around, and they kind of collect stories from other people, and they're always kind of like changing or modifying and constantly kind of like pushing energy forward. I want to bless these people in a way that they couldn't bless themselves. I want to help these people in a way that they couldn't help themselves. And so they're adventuring into new things, like, oh yeah, we can do that. And everybody else is going, nope. They're going, yeah, let's do that. And so that energy is just amazing. And they're always taking on like major roles. They want to ensure that everybody around them is moving forward as fast as they are. The last one, number 8, is the messengers. The messengers are also called guides, and a lot of times they have a special talent for communication. Important messages around the world. I don't mean like they're gossiping about people. It's not a gossip. It's one of those, they're always bringing their skill set to kind of like spread messages of enlightenment, boosting collective energy, boosting like everybody's like love vibrations of kind of like, okay, let's bring more healing to here. Let's bring this more. And so they're always kind of upgrading everybody's words, maybe they're copywriters, or maybe they're changing words, or they're upgrading things, and they're always constantly doing this. Like I said, a lot of them are writers, musicians, artists, kind of like they're kind of leaving a message for the next generation of, or the next person that's seeing it, moving forward, kind of always constantly moving forward, and really spreading messages is what they do. They constantly are spreading messages of hope. It could be even just in a story. They're the ones who are going to start everybody dancing, or kind of motivating them to make some changes. So that's kind of the fun, interesting part with messengers. So let's pull some angel cards and get us a little bit deeper insight into light workers. So let's see, I've got 3 of them popping off right off the bat. So I know this one is solar calm, and this is about clarifying. A lot of people really do have questions about light working and how do we do it. It's one of those, you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to fix or change or adjust or modify anything. It just happens. It naturally happens around these people. Like I said, it's their inner purpose of kind of like bringing this forward. The next one is called third house, and this is all about communication. That's what light workers do through their energy, through their thoughts, their vibrations, all of that. They are bringing communication for us to hear, to change and modify and upgrade our world. Next one is Taurus, and this is all about cultivating. Light workers don't always start out as light workers. A lot of times they start out in this amazing kind of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do energy, or I don't know how I'm supposed to fix things. I just know that I'm supposed to fix something different. And I will tell you that that's kind of the interesting energy of them, is they know that they have a higher purpose, but they don't always understand it. And it's one of those, they really kind of cultivate themselves into that energy of, what do I need to fix, change, adjust, or modify, is kind of their mantra of moving things forward. This one's upside down. Okay. Neptune is all about visions. And I'll tell you, so many people that are light workers have some amazing visions. That could be the seers, it could be the dreamers, and kind of just knowing that there's something better out there than what you're dealing with right now can be really fun and energetic, and kind of a great way to kind of change the world around you. Because if you can see things differently from other people, it is going to change others. This is the 4th house, and it's called home. This really is their home. They actually, before they ever came to Earth, chose to be a light worker. They chose this. They wanted to come here and heal you, me, other people. They chose to be here to heal other people, and to kind of open up that energy in some very amazing, very talented ways. I will tell you that one of the things that's really interesting is that they're always wanting to kind of bring energy forward, and kind of they kind of grow into that position. Most people do not start off as light workers as infants, because it's so much work. There are a few that activated early, but I will tell you most of them did not activate probably until their late teens or early 20s, sometime in there. And one of the things that I get with a lot of light workers is, a lot of times they'll be like, I haven't slept good in years. You can take time off. You can literally just like your regular job, like, hello boss, I'm calling in sick. So a lot of times when I haven't slept well for a couple of days, I will tell my spirit when I go to sleep is, we're taking a few days off. We're not going to be light working for the next couple of days. We're taking 2 or 3 days off so I can get some good sleep. And that can really help bring us forward. The next one is solar flares, and this is all about activating. So this is what I'm talking about, is like the when they activate is different for each person, and how they activate is a little bit differently. But I guarantee all of these people are in action almost all the time. They love their job. They love what they're doing, and they do it day and night. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.